Jimmy, you know Jim long time.
I've known him for quite a while, back to the early days when I came to Nashville with the Statler Brothers in the early 80s. I remember one of the first times I met Jimmy Capps was on a recording session, and he was so nice to me, and he didn't have to be nice to me. You know, I was kind of a newcomer with the Statler Brothers, and I admired him anyway. I was a big fan of his from the Living Brother days and everything, and then of course getting to see him for the first time and meet him in a studio situation. Being a kid, walking over and just, you know, wanting to play guitar, and he heard me play a guitar. I did some things, and he was so nice to say, "Hey man, I like your playing." You know, he was nice to a kid that didn't really need to, you know, wasn't expecting that, I guess you might say, but he was everything I ever thought he would be, and even nicer actually than I thought when I first met him. I said, there's no way somebody could be that nice. But as I've come to know him over the years, he's still that way to me. And the ultimate professional, you know, in every way. He was back then, and he still does that same thing right today. And I respect and love that man so much for that.
You mentioned during the Statler show days, Harold gave him a special picture. Signed picture of Lester.
Oh, yeah.
You remember that?
Lester Roadhog Moran and the Cadillac Cowboys. Yeah, Jimmy was a big fan of Lester Roadhog, which was the alter ego of the Statler Brothers. They created this group back in the I guess it was 70s, and that they just got out of boredom. It was like old radio shows that they created, or this character called Lester Roadhog Moran and his Cadillac Cowboys. And so anyway, Jimmy was a big fan of that, as well as a lot of musicians, not just in country music, but in the rock field and all over the world became fans of Lester Roadhog. But of course, Harold was Lester Roadhog in real life, you know, and Harold Reed of the Statler Brothers. And Harold gave him a picture and signed it, and he said, this is to Jimmy Capps. He said, I'd hire you if he was the last guitar player on earth. And Jimmy, he loves that right today. I think he cherishes that probably as much as he does anything.
If you were the last guitar player on earth.
If you were the last guitar player on earth, yeah.
You've done about as much with Jimmy as far as the Statler show, the Opry, Family Reunion, the Diner. Mm-hmm. You've really done a lot of different things.
Yeah, we've been friends. I moved here 15 years ago after the Statler Brothers retired, and of course I don't live very far from Jimmy Capps. We're neighbors, you know, and most of all we're friends. But we've done so much together. And as a matter of fact, he played on my most recent CD called God and Country. I wanted to have him on it. I didn't get to have him on the whole thing, but I wanted him on the whole thing, but his schedule didn't allow it. So I got him to play on there, and I will cherish that forever because I was real proud of that project. Ben Isaacs produced it, and it's on the Gaither Music Group label. And so to have Jimmy on there, you know, still doing things out there today. As I said before, he's the ultimate professional. And I'll call him up sometimes just to say, hey, what are you doing? It's I'm working on charts, and what gets me about him, he wants it to be good for him. But most of all, he wants to be good for the artist, you know, that come. That's what gets me about Jimmy. He loves the artist, and he listens to them, and he listens to their projects, and he makes sure that he gets that part down because he cares, you know. And I guess that's, other than his heart and the love that he has for his fellow man, his love for the music and the love for getting it right. I just respect that so much of him, and the fact that we get to still work together today, you know. Him and I we're kind of like, I don't know, we've seen every aspect of the music business, and we've seen it from a whole nother time. And he even goes back further than me. But then when I came along, we both kind of grew together from the early 80s to where I'm at today. We're still out there doing it. We're still doing what we love to do. And I think that's a great thing. If you're doing, and it's obvious with Jimmy Capps, he's doing what he loves to do, what God meant for him to do. He's perfect, perfect. He really is. I don't know what else to say other than he's just the ultimate perfectionist and the ultimate gentleman.
You guys have a friendship. You both go the extra mile for each other, and like the day he had the book sign at the guitar show, and you went along with us, and you were part of his book. You're part of this. What is it about your friendship that you get together all the time away from the spotlight?
Well, Jimmy, he's so humble. I mean, Jimmy doesn't like to talk about himself, and I'm kind of that way too. I kind of like, with Jimmy though, it's like everybody else. He lets everybody else talk and do it. When other people are saying all these great things about you, you don't have to say anything. But it's hard to sit back, and I know it's with him. It's hard to sit back and let people say all these nice things about you, and you feel like, well, am I deserving of it? Well, I can tell you, Jimmy Capps is deserving of it. And I guess that's what him and I we just love each other and respect each other. I've always had that love for him and respect, because we first of all we love the music, I guess, and we love the people that we play for. When he came to town so many years ago, he came because he followed his heart. The same reason I came, the same reason I did what I did, and the same reason I came to Nashville, because I moved here 15 years ago after the Statler Brothers retired, because I knew that the best musicians, the best singers, the best songwriters to me were here. Some of the best in the world were here. And I didn't know, actually, where Jimmy lived at the time. We moved in pretty close together. And like I said, we just been friends. And I just guess we got music in common. And we just see eye to eye on a lot of things. I respect him, and I feel the respect he has for me too. And
you and your wife pal around with him and Michelle as well.
Michelle, we love her to death. She stood by Jimmy and just been an anchor for him. And again, you need someone, not just people out there, but you need someone that's close to you, your best friend, which is your wife, and I know it is with him and Michelle. That's his best friend, and that's her best friend, and it shows. And I think if you're in this business and you want to be happy and you want to be successful, you need that best friend. And I know that Michelle is that for him. It's the way Nina is for me. She's my friend, and we go out and we one of the things we love to do is after we get off from the Opry sometime, we go to Waffle House, One of our favorite things to do. Now, Michelle and Nina don't like Waffle House that much, but Jimmy and I do, so they go just to be with us and laugh and joke about a lot of things. But we love them.
That's great. All right. Anything else you'd like to get out about Jimmy, working with him over the years, or just your friendship with him?
Well, let's see.
What did you think of his book?
Oh. The book, first of all, the book was so honest. And when someone told me Jimmy was writing a book, I said, well, now, how are they going to get anything out of Jimmy? Because he don't like to talk about himself. And so the idea of coming up with other people to tell the story of Jimmy Capps, and then let him just sit back and kind of soak it all up. And I don't even think Jimmy realized how special he was to everybody until this book came out. And the book was so honest and told the story not just from Jimmy, but it told it from everybody else's standpoint. And then eventually Jimmy got into it and got to rolling with the stories and everything. And the book came to life And it is Jimmy's life. And it couldn't have been told any better than from the people that knew him, and then, of course, Jimmy himself. So kudos to you for a wonderful job on that book.
I would take the transcripts of the artist interview to him, and day after day, I got to see him just cry. He just cried over what they said.
Well, that's Jimmy, you know, and like I said, sometimes in life, and I know in Jimmy's case, you don't realize what you've done until you've done it. And you get back and you're just working, and we're in there and you're doing what you're doing because you love it. And then one day you sit back and go, what, you know, I'm sure that a lot of artists do. And what have I done? You know, what have I, and then a lot of them don't have somebody to write a book about them or anything, you know. So I'm sure that a lot of them sit back and go, you know, what have I done? And it doesn't seem like life is that important sometimes. You get caught up in just the everyday life. But with Jimmy's book, it brought to light his life, and rightfully so. I don't feel like anybody deserved it any more than he did. But you did a wonderful job on that book. You really did, as you do on all the books that you write and help people write for themselves.
Well, maybe with this documentary, we'll end up giving him the big head.
What?
Wouldn't you like to
Jimmy
see that?
Caps is never going to have a big head. I can tell you that.
See him get full of himself, or you have to say, "Hey, calm down."
Yeah,
Get
yeah.
over
Well, you
yourself.
see, pump his chest. And go, yeah, I'm all that. Yeah.
You good, Chris?